Do we have to put respect on Sarri's name? I know you said they were challenging.
No.
I know you said they were challenging for the Premier League. I know that's what you said. But
No.
I was asking, do you have to give? Do you have to?
For what reason?
I would say 50-50 in terms of people expecting them to get into the Champions League this year, as in top 4 places.
Manager of the year. Who are we going for? Who would you say for you has been the manager of the year?
Well,
why?
Well, there's one that my heart and there's one with my head. Like, if I was going with my head, and I'd be like, if I was thinking sensibly, it has to be Wolves manager, because the guy finished 7th. They're going to be playing. Well, are they going to play Europa League?
If Man City beat Watford in the FA Cup, then Wolves will be in Europe.
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
No guarantee.
No. Watford won that.
Guy's such a hater. So potentially, it's looking like they could be playing in Europe. I mean, this is a team that is newly promoted. People keep forgetting this, because how sick they're playing. This is their first year back in the Premier League. They have just come up from the Championship. They've got. Listen to how crazy this is. Last season, they were playing Championship football in them horrific conditions and them bobbly pitches to 2 seasons later playing in Europe. Well, I say playing in Europe if Man City beat Watford, like you said, but could potentially be playing in Europe 2 seasons later, right? And not by winning an FA Cup default,
league
by league position.
Listen, winning an FA Cup ain't easy. Don't say default.
It's not. But
that's a good way to get into the
like
Europe.
Portsmouth have won the FA Cup and gone to play in Europe and not by a league. I know it's not
the
easy.
season after.
Yeah,
Wigan.
Exactly.
Relegate the same season.
That's actually a madness. That needs some credit. But Pep has also done a madness. Not only has he retained a Premier League since Manchester United did it like 10 years ago, so you have to take your hat off there. Not only that, but he got 98 points defending off a strong Liverpool team that pushed him all the way, kept his cool.
Well, you say that. when Brighton scored today, and I was ripping off his shirt.
There were times.
The bald head was sweating, but house was silent.
But the guy's gone the back end of the season and said, boys, look, listen, this is crunch time. If we don't win every game from now to the end of the season, we don't win this title. Boy, and they did it 14, 15 games in a row, breaking more records. Like, you have to give it. Like, surely, it's between the two. Like,
all right, but if you give that much credit to Pep, 1 point less, Klopp. Should he he didn't win the league title, no.
Yeah.
But
he didn't win the league games
but never did the Wolves manager.
He didn't score.
But never did the Wolves manager. Huh? So never did the Wolves manager.
But his job is a lot harder than their job.
But would you not say Klopp's job is much harder than Pep's job based on obviously the season before, i.e. the players that he's had, the players that he's got, how far behind he was to Pep. Wolves manager didn't win the league title, but he had certain expectations. Klopp didn't win the title, but he's also exceeded certain expectations.
For me to enter Klopp into the discussion, even if they had lost the league title, they would have to go on the season unbeaten. If they had gone the season unbeaten, but still lost the title.
So if they won the league title, you wouldn't.
No, if they won the league title, I'd give it to him.
So if he went unbeaten and lost the league title,
then they would enter the discussion.
They lost one game all season.
Yeah, I know, and they lost it to the defending champions. I know, lost game 1. Ooh, that is poor Liverpool.
Liverpool. Before you go in, Ramone, Liverpool are the first team to win. Sorry, the first team to lose twice and not win the league. The first team to lose twice and not win the league was Liverpool in 2008 and 2009. The first team to lose once and not win the league was Liverpool this season, 18-19. And the last 3 times a Premier League team has been top on Christmas Day and not won the league: Liverpool 2008-9, Liverpool 13-14, and Liverpool this season. It's peak. It's peak. Ramone.
It's tough. It's definitely tough. I mean, the thing is with Wolves, right? They have been sick against the top teams in particular, top 6 teams, and but the record against the bottom 3 is not great. I mean, in general, they got 7th place. It's great. Not one of us predicted that they will get relegated this season.
Correct.
Not one of us, like the whole group. So, is it a surprise they didn't get relegated? No, not at all. Is it a surprise they got into the top 10? If you asked me at the start of the season, we can get top 10, I said it'll be a push, but the Premier League is so, after that relegation battle, going up, it's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess.
You can finish 14th and you're only like 3 points behind 9th. 100%. So it's like, have they had that much of a better season? No, they won one more game than you.
Wolves have been, obviously points-wise, they've been better than the rest of them, but they've got to the par of Everton, Leicester, and who's there, West Ham. So they've got to that sort of level, and Watford, they kind of got to that level, and obviously just surpassed them for the season. And I think, as much as a great achievement it is for Nuno, like it has been done before. Like teams have come up from the Championship Ipswich. And got into Europe. Ipswich, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. Like you say, it's been done a long time ago. But and you could say now, but Wolves also spent a lot of money this year to get their players, to bring their players in. A few loan signings as well. San Jimenez throughout the season. So I don't know, for me, if I can give it to Nuno. But I recognise his achievement. I recognise
He's
it.
shaking his head in disbelief.
I recognise it. I need a reason to discount someone somewhere, innit? And then it goes down to the other 2 for me. It goes down to Klopp and Pep.
Who?
Goes down to Klopp and Pep.
Can you correct his name, please? It's Flop.
Flop, yeah.
Thank you.
Jurgen Klopp, the guy who failed to win Liverpool's Premier League title.
And Guardiola.
And Pep Guardiola, one of the greatest league-winning managers we've seen in this century.
I don't know why you're putting one of.
Relax.
Liverpool's aim this season would have been a title challenge. Premier League, to win the Premier League would have been overachievement. Yeah, I'd say, looking at this Man City team. So he has done what he's aimed to do, challenge Man City for the Premier League title. You could even say he's done more than he wanted, because he probably wouldn't have expected Man City to get the levels that they did this year. But I mean, he's challenging for the Premier League title. Pep, his expectation would have been to retain the Premier League title, something that hasn't been done for a long time, and in this day and age, it's a tough job to ask. And also, we all.
Why is it a tough job?
Because the Premier League is not easy, and we've seen.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think that's why it hasn't been done. Chelsea won the league title and finished 10th. That ain't because the Premier League ain't easy, because they won it the year after. It's because they were just bottle jobs. But it shows you that. So it's not about, for me, it's not about the quality of the Premier League.
It
Leicester won it that year.
Exactly, but it shows you how hard it is to keep the same level to retain it.
Oh, okay.
With a measly 76 points.
Who?
Leicester.
No, I think it was 80. I think it might have been.
No, 76. I'm sure.
Must have got 80. I think it must have got. I'll double check. I think they got 80. But for me, it wasn't because the Premier League was all this difficult. Chelsea just flopped.
Yeah, but
they just flopped.
because the Premier League is difficult, that's why they flopped.
No, I don't think that's why it was.
I think the retaining the Premier League is not an easy achievement.
It's not.
hard,
It's
and
not.
I think,
I agree.
And that's what made this year harder for Pep to do, because.
But are you giving him the award based on?
I'm not giving him the award yet.
No.
I'm not giving him the award yet.
Okay. Okay, carry on.
But I'm just trying to assess, because again, at the start of the season, if I look at it, the majority of us predicted Man City to win the Premier League. There was a lot more people this year predicting Liverpool to win the Premier League than they were the year before. And pretty much everyone thought Man City. Well,
no. Last year, most people, to be fair, the league finished how most people said, but they said Man United, Man City would be challenged for the title.
Yeah.
As it was, Man United didn't really challenge, but they finished second. But remember, the year before that, Man City finished fourth.
Yeah.
So obviously it would have been based on maybe signings made and blah, blah, blah kind of stuff.
But I think I'll probably say 70% of people would have thought Man City would win the Premier League this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that.
30%.
I'll
Maybe
say about
say
something, yeah.
Liverpool, and maybe a 5% might say Chelsea. Or something. I don't know. But yeah, so again, it's like, do you look at it?
Remember those that said that just would challenge?
They finished third, innit?
Pedro Willian got
what more can you do? What more can you do? What more can you do?
You remember the ones?
A man said Chelsea could challenge the Premier League. Wow.
They came as close to it as Liverpool, innit? Both didn't do it.
Boy, I mean, yeah. Yeah, so looking at that, Klopp done what he meant to do. Pep done what he meant to do. Pep. I'll get it to Pep.
See, a few things you said. You said, Nuno, we expected, or if someone said to you that Wolves would get in the top 10, you wouldn't have been surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, no.
But out of those three managers, you might say he's the only one who's overachieved. Because none of us expected them to finish 7th, or potentially get into the Europa League, as it is, through the Premier League. And actually, under no means, I don't think no one predicted the FA Cup, no one predicted the League Cup. So out of those three managers, he's the only one who's overachieved. And I would say overachieved by a significant margin when you consider the results he's had against the top 6 in the Premier League. They spent money. Well, so Man City spent money. So Liverpool spent money. So that, for me...
So Fulham spent money.
So Fulham spent money. So that cancels that out, because all the teams and all the managers we're talking about, they've also spent money to meet their expectations. He's the only one who's exceeded it. Now, granted, if Pep Guardiola's expectation is to win the Premier League, he can't do anything but win it other than possibly go unbeaten, which he didn't do. For me, Man City have done what? Points tally-wise, to be fair, they've actually done what we expected. We said they ain't going to be as good as last year, which by 2 points they're not.
It's not, but we didn't expect to be as close to 100 as that.
I hear that.
That's literally turned one draw into a win.
But I'm more surprised at Liverpool's 97 points than Man City's 98. Because I know Man City's got the ability to get 98. I just didn't think that mentally, one, they wouldn't even need it, because like, who's going to be going that far? Who's going to be pushing that far? And two, it's not easy to do that back to back, but they've done that. So over the 2-year period, yeah, for me, they have overachieved in that regard. But for us, for this season alone, to come up from the Championship, and yeah, getting to the top 7 is one thing. But you drew Man City at the Etihad. You drew Man United away and beat them at home.
No, it's Man United. Cardiff beat Man United.
You drew with... No, you beat Arsenal at home, lost away. Drew Chelsea away, I think they beat them at home. Tottenham, can't remember the results as I think. Liverpool, I think they drew and they lost, obviously, at the last day of the season. And they've played good football. Attractive, entertaining football. Defensively, they've been good. And then Jota and Jimenez have been on fire, respectively. 13 goals or so this season. I think, as much as we knew they wouldn't go down, or expected they wouldn't go down, they've exceeded their expectations for me more so than any other team in the Premier League. And I think any credit you would give to Pep, I would say more than Klopp, would give credit to Pep, you could easily give to Nuno and then some. For me, I think winning a Premier League or winning a trophy gives Pep, you might say a tick ahead of Klopp. But if we're just talking about what expectations and how they've managed the team and the resources, etc., I think Nuno's done better than anyone else. I think the only one who could have challenged, I would say, Nuno, if Cardiff stayed up. Because they're terrible. Yes, they beat Manchester United, I know. And we're terrible as well. but they are terrible. So if he was able to keep Cardiff up, then I would say he's in the running. But he wasn't able to.
If buts and maybes,
Yeah, he wasn't able to. But Nuno has done what he's done. Everton has spent 100 million or so in the last couple of windows, and he's gone past them. Watford's done very good. Javi Gracia, I think he needs to have some credit as well. Leicester, they've been up there last few years. West Ham, they've been a mainstay in the Premier League for about 10 years now. And Wolves has gone past all of them. So yeah, for me, I have to give it to Nuno. But I think all three of them deserve massive credit. And I think if either one wins it, there's an argument for all of them. It would be unfortunate for Pep if he doesn't win it, because he's just done what he can do. He can't do any more but win the Premier League title. But it's Premier League manager, yeah. But you just got to give, I think for me, Nuno, championship to Europa League potentially. For me, that I have to give him the edge. And additionally, I don't like Man City, Liverpool, so if you call it bias, you call it bias, innit?
Outside of that, do we have to put respect on Sarri's name? I know you said they were challenging.
No.
I know you said they were challenging for the Premier League. I know that's what you said. But
No.
I was asking, do you have to give? Do you have to?
For what reason?
I would say 50-50 in terms of people expecting them to get into the Champions League this year, as in top 4 places.
I expect.
No,
Did you predict it? I know I did.
I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. I think it was 50-50. I think a lot of people I think people knew Man City, Liverpool were getting. I think and probably most people would have gone for Spurs.
Yeah, I think
and then the last place would have been between Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United, and it would have just been the split between the three. And in terms of the start of the season aims, and then they started reasonably well, and then all of a sudden started to
more
drop
than
off.
reasonably well. They started very well.
Yeah.
They were challenging for the title.
That's what it got to Neeks' head a bit. He was like,
Yeah.
they could challenge for the title here.
And then it looked throughout the season that they were just falling off. Sarri's going to lose his job. Doesn't know what he's doing with his players. Had the whole situation with Kepa and Caballero, and it just looked like
Well, you have to give it to
things
Kepa,
are going for bad.
he's the manager.
Things are going from bad to worse, and then and from that point on, I know it's just literally been a mess.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is a problem.
It's been a mess. But my man's got Chelsea in the top 4. He's got them to a Europa League semi-final. I know we're not talking about other competitions, but he's got them to a Europa League final and a League Cup final. And if he wins the Europa League this year, to win the Europa League and get in the top 4, which I mean, I don't even remember the last team that won Europa League and got the team into the top 4. Jose Mourinho gave up, when he went for the Europa League that year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sorry's done. Sorry,
I'm not giving Sarri. I'd say you said well done for getting into the top 4. It's not a trophy, by the way, but top 4. Well done. But that's as far as it's going, because I don't think Pochettino's the only manager for me from 3rd to 6th who deserves any credit. I'm not giving no credit to Emery. I'm not giving no credit to Mourinho / I mean, Solskjaer's done as good as he can up to a point, and then it fell off. So again, he's evened himself out, because he went. Whoo. So you say he came in at 6, finished 6. Yes, closer to. But the results against certain teams,
such as Cardiff,
such as Huddersfield, you really have to say, well, then you've beaten Spurs, you've beaten Arsenal, and you've done that. That just really just levels it out. But for me, Pochettino, being the manager who hasn't spent anything, I know Emery's had his issues in terms of transfer, etc. But I think Emery's been at fault in some games of tactics and player selection. Pochettino's been working with bare bones for a little while now, in terms of if someone gets injured, then he's scrapping. And their midfield has been ravaged. I know they sold Dembele. I'm not sure whose decision that was, whether that was Poch or Levy. But he's been struggling with injuries, especially in the midfield area. And he got to finish 4th. We're not talking about European competitions, but he's also in the Champions League final. He's been criticised by me as well, for foregoing FA Cup and League Cup as trophies that he doesn't want to win. But he said Premier League and Champions League is the only ones that matters. Granted, he didn't win the title, but at the turn of the year, people were saying, after they beat, I think, Everton 5-0 and 6 Bournemouth, whatever, I can't remember all the teams, 6-0, 6-1, they're in a title race. And then they weren't. Then they were back in it, and then they fell away. The form's been terrible. But for me, there's reasons why, legitimate reasons why their form has been poor. Not as poor as it has been, but has been poor. For me, there's no excuse for the quality of, but the amount of investment Man United, Chelsea specifically, Arsenal to a lesser extent have made, that they're in the position and losing games how they have. So no, I'm not giving Sarri any credit. Well done for getting there, but that's the bare minimum. And Abramovich knows it. He knows it. Bare minimum getting the Champions League.
But then I'd say the same for Poch in terms of the Premier League season alone. Like, I mean, they lost 13, 14 games this season.
Yeah.
Like, I can't look at that and give any more credit to Poch and say well done.
I'm gonna say, I said if I had to give anyone in that,
but I'm saying I'm not. I'm saying
I ain't gonna argue.
I'm saying I'm giving the same thumbs up to Sarri as I'll give to Poch. Then, if anything, I mean, Sarri finished above Poch, innit? To give a little. Well done, Sarri. I mean, I didn't expect you to. I didn't expect you to judge for the Premier League. I didn't even expect you to get into the top 4. For me, you surpassed me, Sarri. Well done.
Man spent 50 million on Jorginho, bought in Kovacic, bought in Higuain, Kepa, 70 million on a keeper,
and he done what he achieved.
No, I'm saying
he spent his money and he got what he got to achieve. That's Spurs. If Spurs don't spend their money,
no, but we're talking about the managers. It's not Poch's it's not Poch's decision why they didn't spend. He's had his hands tied behind his back, and he's still able to finish with 1 point behind Chelsea. Now, so that's why I'm just like, yeah, all right, cool, sorry, well done. But that's it. I'm not saying anything more than that personally. He doesn't.